Welcome to Help Desk with Joe, show number 66, and we are back for another week of Joe with A&M Digital Technology, giving us technology news updates and with a product review this week.
Yes.
So Joe, Justin, welcome.
Good morning.
Here we go. So got a lot of stuff going on in the tech world, and you as always are covering it up for us for the average consumer and businesses alike, and we'll start off today with an Outlook update, which I'm not sure. Is Outlook mainly for businesses, or do people use that personally as well?
They can use it personally if they bought the business package of Microsoft Office or have it included in their Office 365 license. But most of the time, it's used for just business use.
Like business use, yeah. Because we use it here at Patch, obviously, as you know. But for the other folks out there, you keep our Outlook working smoothly. But at home, I use just my regular email account.
Right.
But I like Outlook because it has a schedule, it has all your contacts, and an easy way to use. So I'm really spoiled by it.
Oh, I am too. I use Outlook daily, and I'm always an advocate for open source alternatives like Mozilla Thunderbird, which I have installed on my laptop as well. But for some reason, it's just an old habit with me that I always I'm like Linus in his blanket. I always just kind of cling to Outlook before I go over to Thunderbird.
Nice. So we need to do a Facebook Live update because they just changed everything around. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I ran into that into last week. I was trying to make a post on our A&M page, and everything was all changed up.
Yeah, I can't even figure out how to look at comments or add comments.
Yeah, it was like change for change's sake, and we don't know if that's
there we go.
a good idea or not.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, so back to Outlook. Sorry about that. I got cut off here because I was distracted. I was trying to put in a comment on our live broadcast. I was like, I don't even know how to do this because it's all moved around.
Okay, so Microsoft Outlook has just added on iOS devices, that means iPhones and iPads, voice dictation for emails, search, and calendar invites. So we talked about a while back where Office 365, the online edition, where you could do online dictation, where you could basically just type your entire whatever you was working on in Word document, use your voice. Well, now Microsoft has included it in Outlook, so now you can voice to text your emails.
Wow.
Yes. So since 2019, Microsoft's Cortana personal assistant has allowed you to listen to emails that land into your Outlook mobile inbox.
Right.
So now they're adding the voice add-on as well.
Nice.
So this is starting with iOS version of the software, and Android is coming soon.
Yep.
And literally all you have to do is to access this new capability is tap the plus icon floating above the app's main navigation bar, and then press use voice prompt, and you can start your email.
Huh.
Yeah, my dad would like this. He's always talking to his phone instead of having to type it in.
Yeah.
Dictating with the voice to text.
Yeah. My dad's the same way. When he was still with the gas company, he had a flip phone for years.
All right.
And to the point, like the front of the screen was busted, and I mean it was a whole mess. And I told him, I said, Dad, you've had that for almost 10 years now. I think you've probably fulfilled the contract agreement. The company will give you a new phone. Oh, but this one still works.
Yeah.
So they finally gave him an iPhone, and you thought the world was coming to an end. So when he got it home that first evening, I went over and I sat down with him and I showed him everything. I said, this is the main feature you'll use, and it was that voice to text. Once I showed him that you couldn't, that thing was worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, never going back.
Yeah.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yes.
Especially if you're Joe and it's technology related. Yeah, okay. Interesting stuff. As you know, everybody's kind of adopted to the smartphones, taking care of everything for them. And now it's funny because I still see some people that are bringing back the flip phones.
Yes.
I think it's almost too much of a good thing, and they're like, yeah, I just want a phone to do the basics.
Well, like Motorola brought back the Razr, which, if it wasn't for the $1,000 plus price tag, I have seriously studied along on this one, because it's just so cool. You get that nostalgia factor of that old flip phone,
Yep.
the Motorola
It's
Razr.
snapping it shut.
Yes, but you flip it up and it's a full blown smartphone. It's
Yeah.
just like, and then like the call button, the call screen, when you hit it, it looks just like the old Razr. When you flipped it up and started dialing, I mean that.
Everything old is new.
Yes, it's one of those. That just looks so cool, but yet that $1,000 plus price tag, just that little slap of reality is like, you don't need that.
Yeah. Especially when Cena's in charge of the purse strings.
Exactly.
So yeah, actually, I agree with Cena. You don't need that.
Well, I've convinced myself I didn't need that. Once I seen the price point,
Yeah.
I was like,
Makes
still,
it tough.
it's still cool as all get out.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so Outlook by Microsoft is part. Here's what I find surprising is Microsoft's going, iPhone before Android.
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's what surprised me.
Because usually Android gets everything first.
Yeah. Yeah, and considering...
I wonder if iPhone paid them to do that. They're like, hey, we want to be first for once.
Yeah.
We would like to have something that the Androids don't, just once.
And it seems like part of that is, that Apple keeps some of their coding type stuff close to the vest, or it's more difficult to create apps through Apple because they're a little more.
Yeah, a little more. Yeah, Apple's a
Less
little more
open
stringent on their app requirements. So I don't know what Microsoft's. Well, okay, here is something. This is pure speculation on my part. Microsoft may be putting Android in timeout because Android always tries to push you to use Google Docs and Google spreadsheets and stuff like that, where Apple has that, but they don't press it as hard because they know most people use Microsoft products anyway, so that might have something to do with it.
Huh. Interesting.
That's just pure speculation on my part.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. Anything else with Outlook?
No, that's pretty much it. If you want to use...
well, I'm just saying we're going from Outlook, which is Microsoft, straight to Google.
Yes. And then we'll circle back around to
and we'll circle back to iPhone. Yeah. So, all right. Well, on to the Google update then.
Yeah. Okay, so this next story, it's one of those stories that once you hear the headline, your head always automatically goes to the wrong areas, and I'm guilty of this.
Oh, geez, Joe.
Yeah, so it's one of those...
Listen, for everybody out there, just stay off those websites.
Well, it's not even that.
How do you know what I was talking about? I could have meant like spamware sites or,
well, yeah,
Egyptian print sites.
That has nothing to do with websites.
Okay.
Okay, so Google is now offering a password-protected photos feature arriving to newer Pixel devices.
Okay.
Hold on, what?
So Google is offering this new feature which creates a password-protected folder.
Okay.
So you can put pictures in that folder to where only you and you alone can access them.
Android already has that. They have
No.
secure folders.
Well, this is for pictures. This is complete. No, the folder itself is going to be password protected.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have one. Like I have a secure folder that I put some documents and some pictures of documents in.
Okay. That
And-
must be something from Samsung then.
Okay. And it lets me, like, it's password protected.
Okay. That might be a Samsung thing.
Actually, it let me fingerprint
Nice.
protect it.
Yeah, that sounds like a Samsung add-on.
Okay.
And Pixel, that's Google's line of phones?
Yes.
Or- yeah.
Yes.
Don't hear much about the Pixels.
I didn't even know they still existed.
Yeah, I thought maybe.
I mean, I'm not really technology driven.
That's the only Android phone I've ever owned. I had the Nexus until they cut the Nexus line, and now this makes my second Pixel. I have the Pixel 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I assume the camera on it's pretty good if they're using a name like Pixel.
Yeah. The picture, the camera's pretty good on it. I just like it. My issue with a lot of these manufacturers is they like to add a lot of their fluff to the phones, and then they kind of try to pigeon-toe you into using our software because our software is better than Android. I don't know about that. Plus, with a Pixel device, they always get all the new updates and all the new bells and whistles before anybody else because it's a Google phone, so Google pushes their own first.
Huh.
So this will be for photos only, though. You couldn't throw a PDF in there if you wanted.
Right. This is going to be for photos only. So, Google's page explaining locked folder says the feature is only available for Pixel devices starting with the Pixel 3 and newer. When it announced the feature at its I/O conference, Google said it would be coming to other Android phones throughout the year. So, Pixel's getting it first, and then everybody else is going to get it later on this year. It's worth noting, according to Google, you cannot back up any photos or videos in the locked folder. So there is some amount of trade-off between privacy and convenience. Anything in the locked folder can, however, be moved out if you no longer need to keep it private. So this is where I was talking about when you hear having photos on your phone that you have to password protect, 9 times out of 10, it's usually not not for a good reason.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, there are times where this would be good,
Yeah.
but more than likely than not, it's going to be used for
Well,
different intentions.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably. I mean, the scenario I had, credit card.
Yes.
Don't have your credit card with you. I go to a lot of athletic events, and the last thing I want to do is carry around a wallet or carry around whatever while I'm walking around sweating and doing whatever.
Right.
So take a picture of my credit card front and back and put it in a secure folder. That's what I keep.
Or just put your credit card in your Google Wallet, and then your credit card's already built into your phone.
Thank you, Joe. A year past the fact.
I think we've had this discussion before because I think it went all the way back to when Kale was here with the Exxon Rewards.
Well, we did the Exxon Rewards, but
and I talked about the credit card then.
You're crazy.
When it's built into your Google Wallet, you could just hold it up to like a gas pump, right?
And tap
Does
to
that
pay.
actually work?
Yeah.
I've never
Oh,
did
yeah.
the tap to pay or anything.
Well,
yeah.
You don't even have to actually physically tap it. It just reads it.
Yeah,
It's kind of pretty. Like I've used Apple Pay before, grabbing a muffin or whatever, and it's so much faster than a credit card. It's kind of nice.
I've used it at Five Below, seen it. I'll go in there and buy some stuff, and it just literally just bing and go.
What do you have to turn on to get it to do that?
NFC, near field communication. You have to enable that on your phone.
Do you leave that on all the time now?
Yeah, I don't like to, but for the convenience of it, I do.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know how it's easier to use a credit card if you have to go in your phone, turn on NFC, wait a couple seconds for it to register, then go to...
No. All you have to do is open your Google Wallet, and since the NFC stays on, you just open your Google Wallet, pick the credit card you want, tap, and...
Yeah, for me, it's literally slide up from the bottom, hit one button, and
tap. Yeah.
Either put your fingerprint or password in, you're off to the
know.
races.
I thought at one point I looked at that, but I don't know.
Well, here...
sorry, Joe, but just the way, like sometimes you put the credit card in, it'll take 10 seconds, sit there and read it. But
right.
This, to me, every time I've used it, it's like almost instantaneous.
Yeah. Plus, you don't have to worry about the risk of a credit card skimmer being attached to the machine that you are unaware of. That's where the security side of it comes to play.
Okay, I got Samsung Pay here. I just don't have anything in it.
If you're out for a run or something and you have your phone but not your wallet.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. I'm going to run into... So, I mean, a lot of places don't have it, especially around here. You run into that, but it's probably getting more and more common.
Oh, yeah.
For a while, it seemed like Apple Pay was... I could only find it at a couple places, but...
Yeah, and it was funny how at some places, like, you could literally have either Google Pay or Apple Pay, and it wasn't both. It's like, really? You have the technology for one, but you can't process both?
I will say I learned a hard lesson. We went to a soccer deal, luckily just in Huntington, and stopped at Barboursville to get gas and stuff and realized I didn't bring my wallet. So I was quickly scrambling, trying to figure out how to add a credit card onto my phone.
Right.
Wouldn't happen without the actual card there.
Right.
And then ended up having enough change. Ended up having like $22 in change in my car.
Really?
So yeah, that bought me plenty of gas.
Didn't have to go with a sign out on the streets.
No, it was
Need
close.
gas money.
It was close. Have soccer to get to, need gas money.
I'll pay you back, I promise.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. I'd just say, hey, just need gas money for soccer. Come on. Any sports parent would know that's a dire deal. So, yep. Honestly, that'd probably work. If someone held that sign up, I'd be like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Here's a couple bucks.
We do so much driving that, yeah, I'm going to need this.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've driven, let's see, 19,000 miles here
Do you use Waze?
this year.
You still using Waze?
Yes, some. Not as much. I don't speed, so I don't care
Mm-hmm.
as much about the stuff. Now,
I like it for just the traffic alerts.
yeah, the traffic alerts are nice. Google Maps is kind of caught up though.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well,
they show.
I hope they should, since they own Waze.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that, but they, it works just as well. So I don't even go over into Waze as much unless I feel like being entertained and getting the Cookie Monster voice going.
There you go.
Well, we talked about Outlook at the top of the show, and I have tried to use their app for my Patch email account on my phone, and Outlook for iPhone is pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anything for iPhone is
Yeah.
pretty bad,
It's almost unusable.
unless you're using Mac or Apple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They make it super hard.
Yeah, you unless you stay in their sandbox.
Yeah, we had this conversation the other day with one of the parents that like, yeah, we'll give my kid a MacBook for college, and I was like, why?
Exactly.
You're overpaying for something that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, that's
It looks cool though.
Oh yeah, that's like when I worked at the hospital. We had one of the universities. The hospital had an agreement where like every so often they had pharmacy students come in for training or whatever. So every few months we'd have a line of pharmacy students come through our office, and they all had MacBooks.
Yep.
And the reason being was the college, one, required them, and two, you had to buy it from the school, and they had a deal with Apple, so you had to buy a MacBook. And some of these students I was talking to said, I just went and bought a brand new laptop before I got to school, and they said, oh no, you can't use this. If you use yours, we won't allow it on our network.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other discussion. We typically do that every year, so that's going to be a discussion we'll have coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, they made their students use MacBooks, and literally what they was using it for, I still to this day cannot figure out why they needed the MacBook, because they wasn't doing any special graphic design or anything. It was mostly research.
Yep.
So I mean, other than the school itself having an agreement with Apple, is the only thing I could.
Would it be virus protection? Are MacBooks better protected?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a little better, but that used to be the selling point. MacBooks don't get viruses. No, they're just about as because they're the reason they used to be more secure. It wasn't that they wasn't more secure. It's there was less people using them.
Yeah.
Everybody was PC, and there's very few people using Apple, so there wasn't any money to be made.
Yep.
Now it's almost a 50-50 split. So now there's money to be made on the Mac side now. So they just made themselves a bigger target.
Yeah.
Because to this day I still hear that argument. MacBooks don't get viruses. Yeah, they do.
Interesting. All right. Well, from Outlook to Google to iPhones.
Yes.
Tune Justin
Oh,
up.
boy.
So Justin, I have some good news.
I'm listening.
You bought yourself an extra year of me sitting here squawking at you about security.
Mm-hmm. So wait, you're not going to squawk at me, or
At least not on this.
Okay, all right.
Now you still may hit my list on a couple of things, but
Trust me,
Like, how's this
you're
good
going to
news?
hit the list on several things. So yeah.
yeah, but you're
Good
still
news. I'm going to squawk at you for a year. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, what? Okay, I got you.
So, well, at least you're not as, you haven't checked as many boxes as Dave has. There's still check marks on Dave's list that he still will not get rid of.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. How about that?
so the iPhone 6s, which will turn 6 years old in September, which is surprising. This is surprising to everybody, including myself, will be getting the new iOS 15 update coming
Sweet.
this fall.
So
So
if you're under that cutoff, then you're out of luck.
yeah, if you have an iPhone 6 or older, you probably haven't gotten any updates for a while, and you still won't be getting iOS 15. So if you have an iPhone 6s or newer, good news, you're getting iOS 15 coming soon. So the update will be coming this fall, and it'll apply to iPhone 6s, 6s Plus, and the first generation iPhone SE, and everything newer after that.
Yeah, I barely made it because if I was just a regular 6, I'd be out, but I'm the 6S.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, you caught it just by there, just a little bit.
All right.
So those are the 6S, 6S Plus, and the first generation iPhone SE.
Well, wait a minute. How old is your phone, Justin?
6 years.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And, I know you probably won't believe me, but it works great for a phone that's old as dirt. No,
Really?
Just saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 6 years for a phone is pretty outstanding.
Well, and considering...
Because if it started being buggy and annoying, I would definitely be looking pretty quickly into getting something that... It has to have a baseline like function. It can't be janky, and it keeps going. So,
well, and that's what surprises me from the standpoint of after all these updates over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin, I'm going to assume that you do update now until you tell me otherwise or prove me otherwise. I'm going to assume that you update.
Do you update your phone, Justin?
I try to, yeah.
Okay.
That your phone hasn't slowed down any over the years,
Right.
because usually that's what happens. Just the nature of it. All these software updates having more bells and whistles under the hood and stuff like that. Usually the phone will just slow down just due by nature. But if you're still having working great with zero issues, by all means, keep using it until either one or two things happen. One, it slows down, or two, iOS 15 slows it down to where it's not usable.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because other people in my family have been really frustrated with that. The new update comes in and it slowed my sister's phone down, and it's done it to my mom's too. But
yeah, so I'm excited. So we're anxious to see what Apple's already started to announce what new features are coming with iOS 15. But this is a very surprising news that a 6-year-old phone that Apple's still going to push out support for.
That is amazing. You'd think they'd just force it so that you'd have to buy a new phone.
Yeah, typically they do.
Yeah, they get in a little trouble for that, right?
Well, they did with the battery.
For making your battery life.
Yeah.
But typically they just kind of phase it out and say, well,
I mean, why would they even? Because that's parts. That's a lot of stuff they got to maintain.
Yeah. Well, they usually say, it's one of those. Well, the software is so powerful that the older hardware can't support it, so we're just going to, kill it off, which is completely understandable. But for a 6-year-old device to get the latest software update, this is a rarity and impressive.
Is there anything like that going on in the Android
Hold on.
side?
Either that or the software is just not that impressive. I was just thinking about what you just said, because you're like, the software outpaces the hardware and hardware of the phone, so therefore it has to be updated. The phone has to be updated to keep up. Now it makes me think that Apple's just rolling out software that's minimal, and therefore nothing changes in that. And that way that older phone can still stay viable, because it's not taking up. You don't have all these awesome new features to take up space.
True.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So which one, Joe, in your professional opinion, do you think is happening? Is the phone just that awesome that it has all the hardware to keep up for 6 whole years, or is the software just fluff?
I'll take a look under the hood, see what we're working with.
I think some of the software is going to be fluff.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be, I guarantee it, this is the way it always works, there's going to be some bells and whistles in iOS 15 that will not be on the iPhone 6s. That's just nature of the way it works, because there's no hardware there to support it.
So the software update just won't really have an impact on this 6s.
Right. It will from a security side, but you may get a few extra bells and whistles, but you won't get all the new bells and whistles. And that's just the way Apple works, is if you want all the latest and greatest, you always have to go get that new device, because it supports all the new oohs and
So it'll
ahs.
just get, his 6s will just get a little bit maybe of what could be offered.
Yes.
But otherwise it really won't change.
But he's still going to be able to get security updates, so that's my big thing. So.
I understand. So for anybody 6S and newer out there, you can still get the security updates. The rest of it, though, good luck.
And to answer your question, Justin, about on the Android side, when you buy when Google does their Pixel devices, they guarantee their Pixel devices for at least 2 years. They guarantee updates for at least 2 years. Now, the other manufacturers it's luck of the draw, and some of them keep pace with Google itself as far as their updates go, and some of them.
How can you tell how old your phone is? If somebody wanted to check, how would you tell? Like, how could I tell how old my phone is?
The easiest way is, are you talking about the age of your phone or the age of that model itself?
Yes and yes.
Okay. The age of your phone, honestly, no, I've never had anybody ask me that. I always just go by the release date, because typically...
I mean, how can I tell what phone I have?
Okay, for that, you go under Settings.
Yeah. About phone?
Yeah, About Phone. Mine says Pixel 3. What I always do is I always get the model of the phone, because typically, that phone is only good for that year, so I always go online, just do a quick Google search, type in your model. So, like, I'll type in Pixel 3 and just type in release date, and that'll tell you when the phone was released to the public, and that'll give you an idea how old it is.
Now, this might put some people to sleep, but Joe, he might be interested. My phone has the A9 chip, which is a 1.85 gigahertz, 64-bit, then a bunch of other stuff, ARM, V8 dual-core chip in it.
Okay.
Whatever that, if that seems...
Okay, I think you hit the nail on why you're able to get iOS 15. You're running a 64-bit chip, and I know we're really getting deep in the weeds on here, guys, so for all the non-techie people out there, just bear with us here. That 64-bit chip allows a lot more capability, so that's probably why you're able to get the iOS 15.
2 gigs of RAM. Yep. I think mine has, not that it matters that much, but I've got like the 128 gig internal too, but
nice.
I opted for as much storage space as possible because I figured it'd get filled up at some point.
All right, so hold on. What was your deal again?
Type in the model number and type in...
No, I have that. I mean,
okay.
What was your specs there, Justin?
1.85 gigahertz is the speed of the processor, and it's a 64-bit
processor.
Okay, I have 8 gigs of RAM. That much I'm
Yeah, I've got
at.
2, so you got me beat there big time.
And it says the powerful Snapdragon 855 chip.
Does it say anything about gigahertz, though, with the 855? Yeah, if you Google Snapdragon, whatever you just said, it should tell you, or if it says it there. Because mine's the A9 chip, so I just Googled Apple A9 chip, and it read out all this other stuff.
Hold on, what am I looking for?
That's Snapdragon. Like, Google that.
Well, I mean, like processor speed?
It should be something gigahertz. GHz.
It says octa-core, 2800 megahertz.
Okay, so 2.8 gigahertz.
Okay.
And what was yours?
1.8.
Yeah. 64-bit, 7 nm.
Nanometer.
With 8 gig of RAM.
Yeah, so you're thinking,
128
Joe,
gig storage.
Good chance like the 6, or maybe the ones before that are not 64-bit.
Yes, they're not 64-bit. They're 32-bit. So that makes a big difference.
All right.
And I got a 4100 mAh battery.
Milliamp hour.
Yeah. Of course, yours is 6 years old. Mine's only 3 years old. So 3 years, double the technology roughly.
Yep.
It's about on pace.
4 times as much RAM for you.
Yeah.
And it's Android, so that plays a big role too.
Automatically better.
It's like some car guys, man, how much RAM you got in that thing?
Which is 0 to 60 time.
I got an 1.8 in here.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I mean, I'm impressed your phone's still working. That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
After
Just
6
based
years.
off the age of it.
Yeah.
It started to go on the fritz, but then my dad had a little tiny brush he stuck in the charging area, and big clump of dust and dirt came out.
Yes,
And
that-
fixed it.
Yeah, that
Just
I
years
have-
of pocket lint.
Yep.
building up.
I have fixed a lot of phones doing that. Now, just the tip of advice one, use a word of caution. If you plan on doing that, I don't recommend you doing that on your own. That's just a disclaimer for the show. But if you do, make sure you turn the phone off and don't just shove a foreign object in there and just start digging around because you can bend those charging pins and you're stuck.
So hey, listen, since we're talking mobile phones,
Okay.
what's the newest, latest, best phone out?
From which manufacturer? That's where you really get.
All right, let's just talk Samsung. I'm a Samsung guy.
Okay.
What's the newest, latest, greatest Samsung deal?
Okay.
Because I know they got like the S21 or whatever. They come out with something.
Okay, they have the S21 Ultra. That's the best Samsung phone you can buy, and then they also have the Note 20 Ultra. And then the S21 and the Note 20. That's the latest and greatest.
Yeah. Do you know anything about them? Like,
Yeah, they're Samsung.
what are people
phones.
looking at now? Because this is why I'm asking.
Okay.
So Justin's phone is 6 years old.
Yes.
It's doing great.
Yes.
My phone's 3 years old. Doing great.
Yes.
Why should someone upgrade to the newest, latest, and greatest? What are they offering now? I mean, like, I'm super happy with my camera, which is 3 years old. Justin, I assume you're happy with your camera. I mean, how much can you advance camera?
So
You know what I mean?
Right.
What can we possibly advance here that makes someone say, okay, I got to go have the latest and the greatest?
Okay, so what a lot of the cell phone carriers are really beating their chest on right now, which is kind of just fluff more than anything,
Mm-hmm.
is 5G. These phones have 5G. Well, that's fine and dandy, but about 90.
I think mine have 5G.
But 90%, at least 90% plus of the country doesn't have 5G at this point, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, when we go to soccer, I'll go to like Lexington. They have 5G. My phone shows 5G.
Right.
So I assume it's 3 years old, but it's still 5G
Yeah.
compatible?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what they're
one thing.
trying to hang their hat on. And then the cameras, like I'm looking at the S21 Plus, and there is it looks like 5 lenses on the back camera.
The heck
Yep.
would you ever need 5 lenses for?
And whereas mine's a 12 megapixel camera, they've got a 64 on this thing, 64 megapixels. So.
It a lot of it does different. Okay, so it's 3 lenses. Looks like 3 lenses, a flash.
So it says 12 megapixel ultra wide, 12 megapixel wide, 64 megapixel telephoto with 3 times zoom, 10 megapixel front camera.
Yeah, if you're into taking selfies, their front camera is like as good as my regular camera.
That's crazy.
And the video they can shoot on the S21 Ultra can shoot 8K video, which all sounds great, but
Why? Why would you need 8K video?
exactly because there's not a video player that does 8K. Okay, so right here,
I mean, it just seems crazy to me. They're pumping up the volume for no reason.
yeah.
Double the RAM as Dave's phone, 16 gig.
Now, in like Justin's case, with Apple, even though he's Apple, he can actually go a few different routes with Apple. Surprisingly, like there's an affordable phone called the SE. They actually released the SE2 a while back, and that's what Cena has, and she loves it. And she loves it so much. My mom needed a new phone. We got her that one as well, which is it's a little easier on the wallet. It's about I think $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you have, I think it's the iPhone 11 Plus, or 11 Pro. So you can go full on, or actually, sorry, 12, iPhone 12, 12 Pro. You can go the latest and greatest, or you can get the budget model and still
Get up to half a terabyte of internal storage.
yes.
That'd be like
Do you know anything
lifetime
about...
of photos.
Oh, sorry about that. What about... Let's go back to Samsung.
Okay.
I just looked them up here online as well. The Galaxy Z Fold series. Have you seen any of those? And they got the Galaxy Z Flip.
Okay, I think
That's kind of crazy. I mean, I've seen where they had that folded phone that could fold up.
yeah.
But, I don't know if it was Samsung or not, but Samsung.
Yeah, Samsung started out with, okay, that is the new fold phone. Okay, so I've not read much on this one, but I do know when they first released it, they released it for like 2 days and had to recall it.
Yeah, it says taking pre-orders on September 1st.
Yeah, they had to recall it no time flat because people was just folding it like a normal phone. They wasn't being crazy about it to see if they could damage it, and the screen was busting.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Literally no time flat. So that's when they had to stop it and go back to the drawing board. So.
Well, the Galaxy Z Fold 2 will cost almost $2,000.
Wow. Yeah, look up the Motorola Razr, and that's what I was telling you about. It's a flip phone, smartphone, all in one. That's the one I've. Yeah, love it. It's $1,200.
Jeez.
But it's on sale $200 off.
Well, the Galaxy Z Flip phone is $1,380.
Yeah, see, that's just kind of hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah, the Galaxy Note is $1,000, $1,200. And then the Galaxy S. They go 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200 for the Ultra. Okay.
All right.
So
Now that
I
we
still so I'll go back to my original question. Is it worth it to upgrade all these new phones to get all these new features?
If your phone is less than 2 years old, no.
Okay.
If it's 3 years or older,
Start looking.
yes, start looking for two reasons. One, you're starting to reach the end of the life of the phone, and two, from a security standpoint, the manufacturer may or may not be pushing out security updates.
Yeah. So that might be one time that iPhone is doing a little bit better than Android with the update a 6-year-old phone.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know that's a hard pill to swallow, isn't it, Dave?
Nah, man. Hey, you gotta have every dog has its day, right?
We're giving Apple some recognition here. It's kind of hard to.
You can't help but get something right sometimes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while you get something worthwhile.
Yeah, even a broke clock's right twice a day.
Oh boy.
All right, so
Okay.
are we ready up for this
Yeah.
week's review?
Tell me about my new thermostat that is mine to take home.
Here we go again.
You got the box. You got the equipment. It's
Oh no!
mine.
Well, I left one piece out.
Mhm.
The wall mount bracket.
I don't even need it. It's fine.
Oh yeah, you do.
Mhm.
Trust me, I installed it. Yeah, you need it.
I got some glue. I'll make it work.
Here we go.
There we go. All right, so Joe, you brought in a Wyze product, and we always talk about
Wyze.
Wyze. Sorry, what we mentioned Wyze maps.
Yeah, there
earlier.
goes any potential
Jeez Louise.
advertising that we'll get from.
We talked
Wyze.
about Wyze before.
I know.
Anyway, so I got stuck. All right, so our Wyze product review, which we're fans of Wyze products,
Yes.
so it's always good stuff. And of course, not affiliated, sponsored by anything.
Yeah.
Spiel.
Yeah. At this point, we're still not affiliated or sponsored by or paid to review Wyze products.
The scoundrels, how could they?
Yeah, we're still at the point where we're paying for all these products ourselves.
Yeah, don't they know we're famous?
Yeah. At least 5 people know us. I mean,
Yeah,
come
I know.
on. But I mean, if anybody at Wyze happens to stumble upon this video and hears about us, by all means, we would love to review the rest of your products, and I guarantee it's a very short list of
Yeah.
stuff that we have not purchased.
Yeah.
So let us know that if you want us to review it, and we'll send you the list of stuff we haven't paid for. Although I think at this point they're just sitting waiting us out. It's like, we'll convince one of the 3 guys to buy something at some point, so we just have to wait them out.
And I do not need a thermostat now since Joe brought me one. All right, so let's get this review underway and see what I got, what I'm
Okay.
taking home. This Wyze Thermostat.
Yes.
All right.
So I'll show. Okay, which camera you want
I'm
to
going to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, this one over here. Here,
Okay.
hand my
Okay.
thermostat to me,
Oh, sorry.
please. Thank you.
I just drop it and break it.
Okay, so I know we talked about the price before the show, but if I didn't tell you guys the price, how much would you think that thermostat would have cost?
I definitely would have guessed something over 100, I think.
Okay, Dave?
Yeah, I would say like right at 100. I mean, the problem is I know a lot about their products already.
Right.
And their cameras are $30 to $50. So I
Right.
mean, a thermostat can't be that much, but for everything I'm sure that it does, it probably seems like about $100.
Okay, so of course, like I said, we talked about this before the show, so it's not going to come as a shock to Dave and Justin. But the Wyze Thermostat, right now on their website, let me pull it up here.
Under $80, looks like.
It is $78.98. So so after tax and all, that's probably around $80.
Yeah, and free shipping.
Yeah, and actually the price went up due to the whole chip shortage issue overseas and all that. Because when I bought it back. Of course, I pre-ordered, and when I pre-ordered, I think I paid like $55 for it, which is just a crazy amount.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody that thinks, oh wow, you really paid that much for a thermostat, the cheapest competitor of a smart thermostat that has all these capabilities is at least $160. So even at $80, you're still half the price of a competitor and still have the smart capabilities. So you guys ready to hear about the features?
I am. I'm curious as to how I'm going to make this work in my home.
Okay. So the features is, of course, you have the control from the app. So once you get everything set up, you can control the thermostat fully from your app. You don't have to come up to the physical thermostat and turn the toggle and adjust the settings that way. You can if you want to, but you can literally control everything from your app. You can set it up to work with your voice assistant. So Dave, here we go. You can use your Alexa and change your thermostat.
Nice. Alexa, Lunatic Fringe, volume high.
Siri,
Lunatic Fringe, volume high.
Hey Google.
Yeah, Lunatic Fringe, volume high.
Yeah, there we go.
It didn't trip Joe's phone though.
Yeah.
Not this time.
We'll make everybody's day. Hopefully that caught a couple people. Just makes me giggle.
I thought about doing that this weekend with mine, just with my Echo, just to see what it would do.
Yeah.
To see if we're actually been messing with people or just being a minor inconvenience. So I'll report back.
Or if we're just amusing ourselves.
Exactly.
Either way, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And you can create simple daily scheduling. So with ours, I have it set up during the week, during certain times, set it into away mode. And when it does, I have it set to set at least these certain temperatures. I have different temperatures when we're home, and I have different temperatures at night.
Yeah.
And it's all done through the app. And there's a compatibility check. Now this is where they have it on the website, and then they also have it in the app. Make sure you do your homework before you buy it. There's a lot of people, and I was reading some reviews on Amazon last night, and people was complaining, oh, it's not working with my system, this, that, and the other. Oh, and I had to do this and do that. Do your homework. On the Wyze website, there is a compatibility check tool where it just starts asking you questions about your setup, and literally all you have to do is take your current thermostat off the wall and look at the wiring and punch on there and say, okay, yeah, it looks like this, and I have these wires, and it'll tell you if your device will be compatible with your setup or not. Very simple tool to use. Another feature it has is Coast to Cool. So the way this works is when you have your air conditioner on and it gets to almost the point where you have the temperature set, it will coast to cool. So when it's almost ready to shut off, it'll turn the outside compressor off and just blow the rest of the cool air that's currently in your system. Go ahead and blow that through the rest of the house, keep everything cool until it reaches that point. Then it'll just shut everything off. So it saves on your compressor and you save a little electricity that way.
Yeah, that's a good feature because, otherwise if it just shuts off, you wasted all that cold air that's stuck in your vents.
Right.
And you wasted all the coolant that's, I don't know, I wouldn't say waste maybe, but, it's all sitting there and it's free.
Right.
So if it just shuts off, it's all just sitting there.
Right.
At least this way you can still take advantage of it.
Right.
Yeah, throughout a year it probably adds up. Just
Oh,
every
yeah.
time it does that, it's a little more efficient.
And it also has a feature in there, a little chart that tells you how long each day it's ran, and it shows you a chart like the blues, the air conditioning, and the orange is the heat, and it shows you how long each day it's ran.
So you can kind of monitor your daily usage.
It gives you a daily.
I'm so looking
monthly.
forward to this. So do I have to, after using this one right here, do I have to come back like in a month and give you an update?
Here we go. Now, so, and then the features, they keep adding features all the time.
That wasn't like a yes or a no.
I know, I'm just going to completely avoid the question.
Joseph. How could you?
And the turn knob, it's pretty smooth. I mean, it clicks along, and then you can actually push it in to adjust your settings.
Yeah.
So overall, very impressive.
Okay. I'm excited to use this.
And also in the app, it has a setup where you can just toggle between the usage of just regular use, or you want more comfortable, which means you're willing to pay the little extra electric to make sure you're comfortable, or you can actually kick it over into energy savings.
Yeah. Nice.
And I'm seeing here on the website they've got learning algorithms. Do you ever use those where it just kind of watches what temperature ranges you like and it kind of tailor fits it for you? Or
Actually, I have it set on the schedule, so I really don't
yeah,
mess with the learning. But one thing I do think is interesting is it has a motion sensor inside the thermostat. And you're probably thinking, why do you need a motion sensor?
You beat me to it. Why? What's the point of that?
Here's where it's really neat. So let's say, for example, during the week I have it set on from like 9:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock. I set it to away mode.
Yeah.
Because we're at the office. So let's say it's a holiday.
Right.
And I'm home. So at 9:30 or 9:30, 10 o'clock, whenever, just so happen to walk in front of the thermostat, it picks up that motion and goes, "Oh, you're home. Let me turn the home settings on."
Gotcha.
And it just flips it automatically, and I don't have to fool with it.
Hmm.
And on the flip side of that coin, if you are away and you forget to adjust your thermostat after a few hours, you can set it in the phone where if it doesn't detect motion after so long, it'll automatically put itself in away mode.
Huh. Well, if you had a cat, that'd throw it off.
Well, how high,
Yeah,
how low
that's
to the
true.
ground do you have your thermostat, or how big of a cat do you have rolling around?
Yeah. If they can jump on the table in front of the thermostat or something like that, it might be an issue. But
Right.
otherwise, yeah, that's true. All right. Well, I'm excited. I've been wanting one of these for a while.
yeah.
So in the kit they give you,
I'm curious, Justin. What do you get to try out next?
Hopefully something. I haven't got
I know,
anything.
you haven't
yet.
got anything. The heck? Come on, Joe.
I'll bring you guys 2 cans and a string. We'll test that out. How's
Oh, jeez.
that?
Is that a Wyze product or just Joe product?
I'll write Wyze on the side with a Sharpie. How's that?
I think they'll love that.
So inside the box, you get, of course, the thermostat, all the mounting hardware, the faceplate, and this little gadget. This little gadget saved me a lot of work.
Oh, hold on. I just switched the camera over.
Oh yeah, what the heck is that thing?
What
Okay.
is this thing?
Yeah, this is where I had to get an education in HVAC 101. So in your thermostat, you have a set number of wires. Well, depending on how your furnace and air conditioner is set up, depending on the installer and the whole setup and all that, you use certain wires. So in that compatibility check, that's where you punch in, okay, I have this wire, this wire, this wire, and this wire. Well, with my setup, I didn't have what they call the C wire. And the C wire, since I didn't have a C wire, apparently it's a pretty common issue. They supply you with this, and this is what they call a C wire adapter, and it has your Y, W, R, and G. So I was talking to a buddy of mine about it, and I said, "Well, what's the deal with this and what it was?" And it made perfect sense once he told me. The thermostat we had was battery operated, and it was battery operated because that C wire wasn't ran and provided power to my thermostat, hence why I used batteries. This needs a steady flow of electricity,
Right.
so put in the C adapter, it gives the thermostat the constant steady flow of electricity.
So I
that
have
it
the
needs.
old dial one, which I'm assuming does not have power to it.
Oh yeah, it has to have power to it.
Well, I mean, like what you're talking about, because it doesn't have batteries.
Yeah, it has to have some. Well, that's where the compatibility check comes into play. Take your thermostat off the wall.
Right, look at the
and-
wires.
Yep, look at the wires, and it'll tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. Does that piece come with it?
Yeah.
And does that connect to the thermostat? Or?
No, this piece you actually connect it to your furnace, your
HVAC.
HVAC system.
Hmm.
Yes, so unfortunately my HVAC system's underneath my house. That's just the way it was set up. So I had to crawl underneath there, and they said simple 20-minute setup. No, mine was over an hour because I had to crawl under there, lay on my back, and stick my head inside the HVAC and wire it up. And I was taking my time because I vowed that if I got out of the hole, got from underneath the house, It better work, because if it doesn't, I don't care. I'm not crawling back under there. Because this was like middle of December, and I was refusing to go back under there again.
Mine's in my basement, so I don't have to worry.
Yeah, so you can probably sit down or stand up.
Am I getting like a box and instructions with this, or just those 2 pieces?
I'll give you. How about I give you the box and the instructions? I'll keep the thermostat.
Joseph. Now you're getting tricky. It's little technicalities.
Well, Cena always said I should have been a lawyer.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can link this up to your Hey Google thing.
Yeah.
Do all voice control from your house.
Yep.
If you want. Do you use that?
No, I haven't used the voice controls because the app is so easy.
Yeah.
And I'll pull the app right here.
Huh.
So right here, it tells you, it tells me, Joe, you're away, and here's what you have your
Here,
thermostat.
turn your phone around and hold it up that way.
Okay.
No, never mind. It can't see
Okay.
it.
It says you're away, and it's telling me the current temperature in my house is 75 degrees with 57% humidity, and I have it set to 80 degrees. And then in the controls, you have your state of home, away, or sleep. And you can actually set up in a mode, which, of course, now this time of year, of course, West Virginia, unless it's like April or September, October, you really don't use it much. It has an auto mode where it'll automatically flip back and forth between furnace and air conditioning
Yeah.
automatically.
Us West Virginians are famous for just throwing the windows open.
Yeah. I guess
once you get to that point, it's like close your windows if you get hot or cold, and open them if you get warm. And
right, and it's usually about a month in the
Yeah.
spring and in the fall. It's not.
and I gotta say, super nice this spring. We didn't have
Yes.
much of that, maybe like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
But man, you come home in the evenings and open your windows, and nice cool breeze coming in.
yeah,
And that's, like I say, and I think West Virginians are famous for that. Where a lot of people, in urban areas and so forth, don't. They just run their air or don't run their air.
yeah.
We
And-
take advantage of that.
and they swelter for it.
Yeah.
And it even has filter management, so you can actually
Set your filter changes in.
put your filter in there, and it'll send you a notification automatically, remind you, hey, it's time to change your filter.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to try it out. I'll tell you what, I'll try it out. In a couple of weeks, we'll do a review.
Okay. Now you do know that
Yeah.
it's not that easy, because I would require this back, and then you'd have to unmount it and
I
put your
know.
old thermostat back.
Joe, let's not talk like that. That's crazy talk.
Okay, so you
No,
guys.
hold on. One more little thing I have a
Okay.
question about.
Okay.
It says it could use Bluetooth to tell if you're home or away as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can connect your phone with it via Bluetooth, and it'll pick it up. And it has like a geofencing feature that if your phone goes out of range, it goes, oh, they must not be home. And then it'll automatically kick itself into the away mode.
All right.
And then once it picks up your signal again, it'll go, hey, Justin's home, so let's go ahead and turn his home settings back.
That's weird, though, if you just walk out back, play with your dogs or whatever.
Right.
I mean, would it not?
Well, I think it says like a 3-mile radius.
What?
Yeah.
My Bluetooth goes 3 miles?
No, your Bluetooth goes 30 feet, but I think it has something to do with, I think it's a combination of home Wi-Fi network and Bluetooth.
Huh.
Like if it completely loses connection from both.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, I'm excited for it. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and I'll do a product review.
Well, now you don't
On
know
actual
you don't know the
usage.
pros and cons, Dave.
Well,
It may not be worth your time.
It doesn't. Oh, it's worth my time.
You don't know that yet.
I do. All right, whip out the pros for us.
Okay.
And just to clarify, you have this new model, which is for your shop, but you also already have this in your home.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have actual experience.
Yes. Yes. I've had this since
Yeah.
December.
Gotcha. Okay, so
So
that's
I've
good.
had-
Good
yeah.
6-month review.
Yeah. I've had several months to actually work with it.
I'm excited for mine.
So the pros: easy to install.
Yeah.
Like I said, the
Unless
hardest.
your unit's under your house, and that's a pain.
Yeah. The hardest part was where my unit's located, and that had nothing to
Yeah,
do
nothing
with.
to do with the product.
Yeah. The product itself.
Good call.
Easy to use. I mean, the app pretty straightforward, and the thermostat itself, you just turn a knob just like any other
Now,
thermostat.
just for sake of, like, let's say my mom, who's not very technologically savvy,
Mhm.
if she just wanted to use it manually, you could just go ahead and turn a knob, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to, the app won't have any effect until you go in and set it?
Nope.
Nice. Okay.
And the scheduling. I love the scheduling feature.
Yeah.
And then the usage tracker, I love that too. Just keeping an eye on how long it runs and all that.
Well, you're a tech guy, so you're going to be into those statistics and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. We had a small issue a while back with our air conditioner. Of course, being start of the year, that's just one of those things you have to get checked. And our technician came out and looked at it, and I was telling him about the thermostat. And I said, yeah, I said, it's great. I said, we can control it from my phone. He just rolled his eyes. I said, what did I do wrong? He said, if you're too lazy to go switch your thermostat, he said, just if you're that lazy and you have to do it from your phone. I said, no. I said, time out. I said, yeah, that's cool. I said, but I love it for the other features, the energy efficiency, the usage tracker. I said, that's the stuff I'm loving. I said, in the scheduling, I said, I've done this with our old thermostat. In the morning, I'd get busy and go to the office and forget.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing's sitting there running all day, either heating the house up or cooling it down, and just literally throwing money out the window. I said, with this feature, the scheduling and all that, I said, I love that component of it.
Yeah. And it's hard. I found it hard to set the thermostat, like the traditional ones that have the programming in it.
Yes.
It's such a pain.
Exactly.
They're not very clear or straightforward.
No, and it's all done from the app, and it's literally you pick your days of the week of the calendar, you set your times, you set your temperature, and you're done.
Just a better format.
Yeah, because a buddy of mine, we helped take care of his he has an office building, and one of the things he has us check is the thermostat, and he has it all pre-programmed. And literally, anytime I have to monkey with it, I have to call him and say, Greg, what do I hit, and what do I have to do to make this work?
Yep. Nice.
So I understand. I know exactly where you're coming from. It is a pain in the butt.
Yeah. All right. Any cons?
Yes. Two cons.
Okay.
The first one's a small one.
Yeah.
Minor annoyance, and I learned this right out of the gate. So when I was setting up my limits on heating and cooling when we're home, asleep, away, and all that, you have to have at least a 5-degree window between the two. So like at night, I wanted the furnace to be kicked down to 70, and the air conditioner, I wanted to kick it down to 74. Oh, no, won't let you do that. You had to either set the furnace to 69 or set the air conditioning to 75. It makes you have to have a 5-degree gap.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because otherwise it might heat itself up just to turn cool itself down.
Well, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But that
so you got to have a little bit of separation.
Yeah, that was kind of a minor annoyance on my part. It wasn't a big deal, but I wasn't the only one that had that issue. I read some reviews online that people kind of complained about that.
Yeah, I mean, ding-dongs everywhere.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. And for that, there goes your opportunity to test out the thermostat.
I lost my privileges.
Yeah, I knew he's going to set yourself up. So
one little zinger and I lose my privileges. Come on, Joe.
See how that works?
I should get at least one zinger out of this deal.
Well, you should have used that. You should play that card long before the review.
Yeah. Where are you at on that one, Justin?
Now,
Justin's thinking. Justin's like, I just earned myself a couple of weeks usage of this thermostat.
Yeah. Justin's trying to save himself.
And all I had to do was sit here and not say anything.
Yeah, Justin just kept giving you enough rope. He knew he was going to hang yourself. So the next con, it's a biggie.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah. To try to change the Wi-Fi settings on this, you have to do a complete factory reset.
What sort of settings?
Yeah, what do you mean?
The Wi-Fi settings. So I had this hooked up to one of my Wi-Fi networks, and I wanted to change the Wi-Fi network it was connected to.
Technology guys that have more than one Wi-Fi network. Can you imagine that, Justin? You don't even have a Wi-Fi network. Much less having more than one. He doesn't have any. I have one. I don't even know how it works. So,
Yeah, so I was trying to change. Okay, Dave. So you want to go down this path. So let's say you have to get a new router or a modem, and that new box has a completely different Wi-Fi setting.
Right. Like what? You mean like Wi-Fi password? Or?
Yeah. Wi-Fi network name, network password, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So this would affect you. So while you're sitting over there making fun of me over having more than one Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, but you choose to do that. If I had to redo my whatever Wi-Fi deal, I mean, that's not. I'm not gonna say I'm just doing this for kicks. You, on the other hand, have more than one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
on purpose.
Yes, on purpose.
All right.
So
I'll save you some aggravation, and I'll take that home and try it out.
Well, no, you didn't kill that opportunity.
No, I did not.
Yes, you
Come on,
did.
Joe.
So to change the Wi-Fi settings, which should be a simple click on the app, click a button, change the information, and you're done. You have to go completely factory reset the thermostat and go through all the initial setup again,
Gotcha. Yeah.
showing which wires you're plugged in. And luckily, I took a picture when I installed it, so then I was able to refer back to it on which wires went where. So then when I told the app, it would know. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a C adapter plugged in to.
Yeah. Why would it not? I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be that complicated to save that information.
Exactly. Or to change a setting, or have
On
the
the
setting,
fly.
yeah, on the fly, saying, "Oh, by the way, click here to change your Wi-Fi network." You shouldn't have to do a complete factory reset.
Yeah.
So that's a big pain in my butt.
I wonder if they did that to save money. Like if there's some.
Or that was just a slight oversight on engineering.
Yeah. I mean, it could be either one, but
Yeah.
yeah. Huh.
I mean, it's one of those. It's not something that you're gonna run into a lot. I hope you don't. But from my standpoint, just a one time of having to completely factory reset the thing and go through the initial setup, that was a huge pain in my butt. So
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to a gold star, but it sounds like it's not going to get it.
yeah, it flirted with it until I had to do that. I was like, no. If I'm livid about this, I guarantee you there's somebody out there that's even worse off than I am.
Does it give you any problems in terms of the temperature not really being accurate? Just me scrolling through some reviews, I saw people complaining about it doesn't seem to read the temperature right, or it doesn't quite get it just right.
Actually, no. Surprisingly not. I've not had any issue. Now, I did see on their website last night that they're going to offer at some point this year actual sensors that you can go throughout your house, and because they're claiming it, and it's true, some rooms are hotter or colder than others.
That's so crazy, though. I mean, if you have a thermostat and you don't understand how it works, just do a basic Google search. Because, I mean, if you have your thermostat in a room that has a bunch of windows, in the summertime, obviously it's going to be hotter in that room.
No. That's not where they're going. These sensors are going to link with your thermostat.
Yeah, and make a median.
Yeah, make a median
temperature
all of
throughout
them.
the house. I'm just saying, people that complain, if your thermostat's in a room that has a bunch of windows, that room is automatically going to be hotter. So therefore, it's going to cool all the other rooms more.
Right.
So you might go in, like, say, your basement. And your basement's going to be cold compared to the room where the thermostat is that has a bunch of windows and you got your curtains open.
Right.
Or vice versa. A room that has direct sunlight shining in for 4 or 5 hours a day versus a room where the thermostat is that doesn't have any windows or whatever, then, obviously it's going to be reverse.
Right.
But and I know that because people are like, man, it's hot in here. And then they walk in the room where the thermostat is and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have an old house. It was built back in the 40s. It's, the upstairs is 10 degrees warmer than downstairs.
Right.
Well, guess where the thermostat's at?
Downstairs.
Yeah, so I set my thermostat on like 62 to get upstairs just to be 70.
Right. Yes, so at least if you got the thermostat, would you be interested in those little sensors to go around the house to keep the whole house at an even temperature instead of...
It's pretty unrealistic for me to do that because, I mean, the median between upstairs and downstairs is more on airflow than it is on, like, cooling.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because, like, the problem is hot air rises. I'm in an old house, so there's not a lot of ventilation. And that hot air just goes upstairs in the upstairs bedrooms and just stays. So we got to, pull it out.
Right.
What I really need is one of those ceiling fans that you turn on that pull.
Oh, yeah, they pull the curtains off the wall?
Yeah, that's what I need to flush out hot air in the evening.
Yes.
But I agree with you. The phone portion of it really interests me because we'll go somewhere for the weekend, for soccer or whatever, and come home on Sunday evening and it'll be hot. And now I turn the thermostat to where it doesn't run as much when we're away.
Right.
But man, you come home to a hot house, that just stinks.
Yeah, at least if you're
an hour away, I can say, okay, start cooling it down.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, start heating it back up.
Right.
So anyway, I'm excited. I'm happy you brought this for me to try out, and I can solve some of those problems, and I'll have a good review in a couple months, and I'll let you know the outcome. So for everybody out there, if you see Joe, thank him for being so nice and sharing his technology with us.
All right, so are you guys ready for my star review?
5 star? No, is it on a scale 1 to 5?
No.
No, I'm saying, like, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Justin, if you had to guess what he's going to say, what would you guess? Because I'm going to guess 4.
Yeah, that's...
I think
I
you
could
nailed it
picture it
earlier.
even coming a little lower, 3.75.
Really?
Really?
Oh, we'll see.
Nah. He likes the products too much. He bought 2. This is his second one, which makes me think that it's at least a 4. Because I don't think he'd have bought a second one if it wasn't at least a 4. Now, and you were talking earlier that you think it did get dinged with that big con, so that's why I'm saying not a 5, but a 4.
Okay.
All right, so
the
hold on. So you're saying 3.75 still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, and Dave, you said
4.
Okay. So the closest, without going older, I feel like Price is Right over here.
Yeah.
Is Dave. I'm actually going to give it a 4.5 stars.
Oh man, I was close to saying that, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you were pretty frustrated with the 2 network thing, and
Well,
that might take a whole star away.
I was, but I also had to give it the concept of the biggest majority of people that buy this are going to plug it in their network and probably won't have to worry about that feature either, if at all, or maybe once in a couple, a year or 2 or something like that. It's not going to be an issue that they're going to run into every day. And like I said, it's not an issue I'm running into every day. But when I did ran into it, that was an issue. That was an inconvenience for me. So I wanted to give it a 5-star rating so bad that it kills me to knock it down to 4.5. But I got to stay true to myself. So 4.5 on the Wyze Thermostat. So if you don't have a smart thermostat in your home, highly recommended.
Yeah, and especially, to me that says a lot because you're a technology guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, for you to buy another one and then let me use it is just amazing.
Well, when I looked at the competitors for the smart thermostats, the whole $150, $200 price point, it was a deal breaker for me. I was like, I would love the convenience, but I cannot justify spending that kind of money on a thermostat. That's just foolish.
Yeah.
But when I saw when I ordered it, it was 50. Even now at 80's not bad.
Yeah, 80's not bad. I mean, for the adaptability that you have, like you said, the pros are amazing.
Yeah.
Having all the functionality of it and being able to do with your phone, like the guy said, I agree. If it's just to save you from getting off your butt in your lounge chair to walk 20 feet to the thermostat, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But when you travel and when you're gone throughout the day at work and stuff, I mean, how many times has somebody, you yourself or myself, I know, have rushed out of the house and forgot to adjust your thermostat? Because
Exactly.
mine's the old manual dial one.
Right.
And by golly, if I forget, it sits right there and it plugs along all day and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, because our old one, it was electronic, but yet it was the programmable one.
Right. So you just had to push your buttons either way.
So
same thing.
I'm just like you. I'd leave the house and that thing just.
I mean, if you do that 30 days out of the year,
yeah,
you're wasting. You're like you said, throwing money out the window.
Yeah, literally.
And for $80, you could probably save $80 just on those days.
That first year. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, well, I'm excited. Awesome. Well, Joe, as always, you're doing good work for consumers, private consumers, and business consumers, and of course, A&M Digital Technology, one of the big factors here in all our shows and stuff that we do at Patch. So if anybody has any questions about it, I know you're not a Wyze dealer, but you can get their products, obviously.
Yeah, a fan of Wyze.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to get a hold of you and talk about any of the things that you've discussed in this show or past shows, because we went over Outlook, Google, iPhone, and now a Wyze product review of the thermostat, how they get a hold of you?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com or follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at AM Digital Tech for all that. Or subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. And we're on all the major podcast platforms, hosted by Anchor.fm.
All right. So A&M Digital Technology, shop local, be local, support our local businesses. Joe and Cena here are local residents, taking care of all their stuff and contributing to after-school programs and all our special programs. So check them out, A&M Digital Technologies. And Joe, just load all my stuff back in the box here and pass it down to me. We'll be good to go.
All right.
All right, we'll be back next week with more from Joe and Justin here with our Joe's show. Help Desk with Joe. We'll be back next week with more news updates, and I'll let you know how my new Wyze thermostat's working. Everybody have a great week, and we'll be back for more.